Merci. J'avoue, il a ça.
On va y aller. On va commencer. Ah merde, Bonjour à tous. Bonjour à tous. Je vous invite à venir vous asseoir. Ne vous inquiétez pas, si vous partez au milieu, je vous juge pas. Vous pouvez, même si vous êtes assis au premier rang, partir au milieu. Et tout le monde part. Deuxième, c'est bien. Ah, tu peux les obliger, non? Allez. Tu veux pas les dire aux gens qui parlent. Ok. Venez, venez vous asseoir, chers amis. Bon appétit, ouais. Super, bonjour à tous. Merci d'être venus. J'en vois quelques-uns qui mangent des pizzas là-bas. N'hésitez pas à venir. Je veux voir votre pizza entre vos dents quand vous souriez. Non, n'hésitez pas à venir vous asseoir. On va commencer gentiment. Je crois qu'on a pas mal de gens en ligne. Euh, donc, tout d'abord, merci d'être venus nombreux. Je sais que c'est la pizza qui vous attire. Moi aussi. Mais potentiellement, il y aura quelque chose, quelques éléments. Ah, actually, we should do in English. Right, sorry. Welcome everyone, thank you for being here. We're very excited today to be presenting to you the debit card project. The name of the talk is Meet the Makers, but in reality it should be more Meet some of the makers, because obviously there were many people involved in these projects, still many people every day working on the cards, and the few people that we have on stage today are only a very small sample of the people who contributed to the success of this very important delivery for Swissquote. But what we're going to be covering today together is a bit the story of this project, because actually it started a long time ago. The first pitch I made on the debit card at Swissquote happened in August 2021, so there was a long process to get it out in the pockets of our clients. And you will see there will be a lot of steps towards making this project possible. And all the speakers today will be speaking about specific aspects of the projects that were very important to tackle. So on my side, I will talk about the debit card strategy. So what is the strategy behind involving so much resources and mobilizing so much resources into expanding that specific product at Swissquote? My name is Simon Pelletier. I'm the head of product strategy for banking, so all the products related to payments, cards, transfers, etc. And when we talk about the debit card, it's actually more than just the card. It's a full banking universe that we started at Swissquote that wasn't existing before. If you take Swissquote only a year ago, you don't have the full universe that you can enjoy today on mobile and on desktop. And you didn't have a card, you didn't have Apple Pay, Google Pay, e-bill, Twint, mobile payment, etc. So it was actually an exercise where the convergence of a lot of projects had to happen in order for us to launch this banking package at Swissquote. It forced us also to revise a little bit the way we present ourselves to our clients from a naming perspective. So today, as you know, potentially some of you know, we don't talk about a trading account anymore, we talk about a Swissquote account. We don't talk about the Swissquote trading app, we talk about the Swissquote app. And there were also other aspects of it, such as the removal of the 2 francs fee on every domestic payment that we had, which helped us actually build the entire package for us to be competitive on that front. Initially, the idea was to sell the project to executive management. Historically, as you all know, we are a trading bank, so we are very good at serving traders. And it was a bit of a stretch to sell the idea of daily banking at Swissquote, obviously, because this is not something that we've been used to, and this is not a positioning that we had at all at the time. On top of that, when the first discussion started about the debit card, we had literally launched You 2 months before. So when I first mentioned this potential project, the initial reactions were like, listen, Simon, we just launched a very costly exercise on the daily banking front with a new offering, exciting offering with you. There is no way we're going to go back into it for Swissquote now. And so the real challenge for me and for the product management at the time was to really sell the why we would and we should be going into that direction. The first why was about our existing client base that we will call traders today. And the idea was, how do we bring more value to those people? Because today, we are quite far away from our clients' center of their financial lives. We really rely on markets to generate activity. And if markets are not really attractive or a bit the volatility is not around, it's very difficult to generate a lot of activity on our client side. So the main objective for us was to, first of all, develop the product suite that would allow us to be way more central to our clients' financial lives. What we see also, and this is the numbers that we could gather, is that the average revenue contribution of an account created in a given year was decreasing dramatically after 2 years. So what we could see is that from the numbers we had, we were good at having clients active. The first 2 years they were with us, but then very fast they would stop using our services and they would contribute less to the revenues of the upcoming years. So the retention somehow was low for our clients, or is low for our clients. We also see, for example, in 2022, that the number of clients leaving us is quite high. In 2022, we lost 1.6 months worth of acquisition to closed accounts. And the most frustrating part is that those closed accounts, for almost 2/3 of them, were created very recently, less than 3 years before. So it means that we lose a lot of clients, and on top of that, we lose a lot of clients that were recently joining us. So we didn't convince them to stay active and to be engaging with our services on a longer term basis. On top of that, since 2020, we have had a wave of new clients joining us, generally younger, more tech-savvy, exposed to other type of financial services, neobanks, etc. And we see that we have had a massive new client base, but with a lot of new expectations. And those people were expecting more from Swissquote. And it translated into some of the surveys that we did before committing on the debit card, which is that more than half of our clients expressed the will to have a banking offering at Swissquote. And this is something that we were not answering to at that very moment. So the first goal on our existing client base was to generate, through banking, more activity, more engagement, and more generally speaking, more loyalty towards our bank with our clients. What we know is that a bank, there is a recent survey that came out, people changed more doctors over the last 10 years than they changed banks in Switzerland. So it means that the relationship you build with your bank is actually way stronger than what you would build with your family doctor, for example. And somehow, if we build a strong relationship with a client that is broader than just as a broker, then we can expect to be able to build a longer relationship that is benefiting the bank as a whole. The second why was to expand our appeal. So basically today, we're very good at talking to traders, and we were very good at talking to traders. But the reality in Switzerland, at least, is that half of Swiss adults don't invest. That's a recent study that was published by PostFinance. So it means that technically on a pure trading positioning, we cannot talk to those half of the population in Switzerland. So we're missing out on a huge business opportunity there. The idea here for Swissquote, and this is the way Swissquote does banking, is to attract new type of customers that will end up being introduced to trading as well. We don't do banking to be a pure banking retail bank, but really to introduce as many people as possible to the wonderful world of trading that we offer. And it goes through having new hooks to attract new type of people, and daily banking was part of those new hooks that we could create for ourselves. And then the last why was around the trends, the market trends. What we saw over the years, and it's been accelerating since, is that a lot of the new entrants, neobanks, neo-brokers, but also more traditional banks, are expanding dramatically the availability of services within their ecosystem. And if you take even traditional banks like UBS, they are going into a direction that will bring them closer to competing on our turf, which is when we think about Trade Bank Invest today, they will be offering in their investing their online suite all that we want to offer today. So we had to react because the universe expansion is something that we see across many actors. We see a move towards financial super apps, and it happens even outside of traditional financial players. You can see Apple moving very strongly on the financial services side. You can also see other platforms like X or ex-Twitter moving into expanding into payments in the US. So what you see is that a lot of people see finance as a way to build strong relationship, and that was one of the objectives that we had on our side when developing the daily banking at Swissquote, which sounded initially a bit at odds with what we do, which is trading, but can really, and that's the objective, reinforce the trading part through banking. Then the question was, how do we build this offering? How do we find an edge in a crowded, very crowded industry, especially for Swissquote, which has a very strong positioning that is covering a lot of different fields? But how do we make our offering relevant across the board, from digital wealth to daily banking to trading to crypto trading to forex trading? We're very much at the middle of it. So how do we build something that builds an edge for us and that can shine in the middle of that very crowded field in which we operate? The second question was, how do we find the right pricing? Initially, we had the plan to have a very premium type of offering, catering for mass affluence, but we, in the end, decided to go for a more mass market type of offering in order to attract way more people, also in terms of pricing. But the idea was very much to find the right sweet spot between neobanks and traditional banks in terms of our pricing, which we have achieved. I think today Camille will be able to complement that, but we're ranked 4th in the best offering in the country. 4th can be seen as not being first, okay? But maybe we don't want to be first because being first means being free. But 4th means that we're very much in between neobanks such as you and Neon and the first traditional banks on the other side. And then we had to make sure that our card would leverage the core of our ecosystem, which makes our success on the trading side, which is the multi-currency offering. In 2021, when I first pitched the idea, I knew that adding crypto in the mix would bring some added interest. In the meantime, we had the crypto winter that you all know, now it's coming back. So it was a very strong argument at the beginning to say we're going to offer crypto payments. It was not so strong for a few years after that, and then it came back, so it's very, very compelling still and very integrated into our ecosystem. Then we also decided on a reward, which is trading credits. For a time, it was Swisscoin, then we moved to trading credits as well. And then we came up with 2 packages at different price points to cover as many customers as possible. So now we had an offering, we had a positioning, but we didn't have a physical card, and that's the magic, I think, of this project, is that in our world, we don't often do physical elements that people will interact with, right? This project was very interesting too, because we're building something that people will have in their hands, in their pockets. And that's where the magic of my friend Mathieu here happened, on the design of the card and the feel of the card. So thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. I hope after the pizzas you will stay. We'll speak a little bit more about the debit card design. So I'm part of brand creation. Brand creation is a small team part of marketing where we actually create the whole look of the company marketing-wise. So the website, newsletter, emails, also the previous Swissquote poster for the party, the Swissquote socks, all that stuff. We try to make Swissquote a cool brand as well. So we had a first part of the project which was supposed to be a metal premium card. This changed through the course of this project, but it started with this. So how do you start the design of a card? I'm not an industrial designer, I'm a UX UI designer, but I have a background in graphic design. So this task was given to me, and I'm very grateful about it. So for the first part, we started with a mood board. So we wanted something sleek, monochromatic, in this kind of Swiss aesthetic of less is more, but also to match the market, such as Revolut or other cards that you can see in this small part of our benchmark. What was the real challenge there? That Swissquote has previous cards created, but they were disconnected visually, and you couldn't see a family resemblance through it. So we thought about it a little bit, and we're like, okay, let's try to make a metal version where we can develop this idea through the gold version, through the premium, platinum, or the rose gold version. So there, for example, you can see what a family could look like. We worked with the logo, the Marvel pictogram, and we tried to bring a very slick version of it. No inscriptions, no names on it, because you want it to be a bit confidential. But we wanted something that people would be kind of proud to use when paying. We tried many versions of those, and actually on the reception desk you can see some of the prototypes we did, whether it's the metal version, the plastic version, even the packagings. Please don't touch them and don't take them with you because we need those as references. So we tried many things. We tried the wordings about the color on it. We tried black version, a white one, and all of these took quite some time. So we were a bit sad in the end when the product didn't come out as such, because we went quite far. We had 3 last prototypes. You can see the Swissquote cut logo, the black version, and the gradient one. In the end, you need to satisfy everyone in the company, but also in the market, so you don't always go with what you really love the most, but everything should be nice at least. So the last thing we kept was this gradient thing, the idea of light coming on raw metal, and we have the final prototype. So ideally, we would like this product to also be produced in the years to come. But we had to stop at that version. You have the final prototype on the desk so you can see it. It's quite cool. We produced it with an American company through a partner, Idemia. So you have the front, you have the back, you have all the MasterCard requirements, you have all the Apple Pay requirements, and you need to find something that convinces everyone. But midway, we had to change our plans and go for plastic. So what do you want to do when you go for plastic? You want to open the product to a bigger audience. You want something that feels familiar when you get it, something that is colorful, that is bright. The thing is, you can also approach it with another perspective, like we want something premium, so we stay white or black. You want to evoke an emotion with it. And there, the idea was something colorful, fluid, like liquidity, or, I don't know, digitalize cryptos, and you need to find something in the pictures that can evoke that idea. So we switched through different prototypes, such as the 3 ones I have there, but we have like 20 of them, and we had only 1 week to create this plastic version, because you need to know that in between each prototype, there's like 8 to 13 weeks of waiting, because in the producing section, they have to stop the full line of production just to give you 5 cars, for example. So they have very specific slots, and so you need all the decisions to go up and down the company, to MasterCard, and come back, and then all the tests must be running in time. So we didn't keep those white cards, and we came with this bright gradient card. We need to know, as a company here, we have very few elements in design. We have orange, a dark gray, white, so 3 colors basically, and a font. That's a bit scarce, to be honest, when you design. But we had the luck that this year we also used the all-in campaign that the HR and the employer brand created. And so we were able to use a bit of that in our designs, but the orange must be prevalent, because otherwise you lose a bit the essence of the company. So this one was created here, and everybody was quite happy about it. It was just when we did the first tests, as print was a bit dull. It lacked something. So we went to Vitré, which is in Bretagne, and you need to know that this center from Idemia creates 1/2 cards in all Europe. So most of the cards you have in your wallets today are produced there. So it's a massive company, and it's really interesting to see. So we went there for 2 days. You stay in a little room. They give you the first test. You say, I need to change that and that. And they go back, you wait for 1 hour, and they come back with a new prototype. And you have 2 days that is only dedicated to that aspect. So it's pretty cool. You feel like very premium there. And then you have the luxury to visit the site. So you need to hide your phone, and you need to sign the NDA of what you're going to see. And it's pretty impressive because you have 7 layers on a card. You have 2 coatings, you have the plastic version, the antenna, you have the edges. Everything is automated, but there's like 100 people still working manually there and doing all the steps. So you kind of understand the need of all these technical requirements they have. And you discover them along the way when you never did it. So it was, as you can see, you have many samples on the picture down there. Sorry, I have a screen you don't see. But on the cards you have there, and you can see some results on the desk at the reception if you want to realize a bit the progress you have. Then when the card was done, so we added some glitters on it to make it shine and make the colors living, we also have, and that's very niche, but we have the only card with a gradient on the edge. I didn't know if you even saw it on your card, but for us it was kind of cool. Then you need to represent that card digitally because that's the part of brand creation as well. We need to promote those elements, but we don't do 3-dimensional, for example, designs. So we have Cavalcade Agency who created those versions. We took the time also to create this kind of, I don't know if I can say stained glass or translucent glass virtual debit card to give it also a personality, even if it's not material. Then you need to go through packagings, and that also is a hard work because you have many partners doing that. We worked with Burgerpack in America, so you do everything by post or by Teams, and it takes also several weeks for prototypes to come in and out. And the thing is, we were shifting also in the brand identity at that moment. We were really focused on black backgrounds, little orange dots, things that we were removing in the same time. So you need to kind of swim through that moving field. And so the packaging is also available there. We ended with this black version where you can just lift it. We couldn't take the same as you. We need to differentiate ourselves. And you also have to create like 5 or 6 types of letters that needs to be translated and automated for things to go smoothly when somebody orders a card. Then the last part of it, but not least, you need to create the environment. So we did a silent launch. We created all the transactional emails, all the promotional pages before it was out. And so for that, we worked with Camille that will go a bit deeper in that topic. And so that's a bit all for my part. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I invite Camille to, Arthur now, that will present the more technical part. Camille will go afterwards. Thank you a lot.
Okay, thanks, Mathieu. So on my side, I will present the technical part, as Mathieu said. So I'm Arthur. I'm an iOS engineer in the banking services team. I would like to start saying that the banking services is just one team involved in the project. And we can, obviously, Cart Infra did the huge part of the project, and also what is now the concession team provide us some rule and wonderful Figma, and we tried our best to make something with it. So yeah, the cards for us is just a part of a huge scope, which is the banking implementation on front side. And when we are trying to bring a lot of feature in a small amount of time, we need to think how can we do that without creating some conflicts. And so in order to achieve that, we thought about a way which is to me a win-win, to add all those features and also improve the architecture of the app to be able in the future to continuously bring some new features to our clients. So if we take a look to what was the Swissquote app in the beginning of 22, we could see that everything was gathered inside only one repository. And to be fair, at that time, it was pretty decent. And according to the number of sessions, the number of crash were really, really low. So it was really stable. But as I said, in order to release a lot of things with strong deadline, it was maybe some improvements were possible. And I think that the first one is the ownership. If everybody is working inside one repository, it's a bit hard to say who is responsible for what. Also, we could say that if like we are 20 trying to merge some feature inside it, it could bring some merge conflicts, obviously, which is really challenging for us. And also, if we have like strong deadline, we always trying to avoid to add some technical debt, but at the end, we will just add those features on top of the previous feature, and then the technical debt will just grow. So our proposal was to stop adding some new code inside the trading app, but instead of that, either extract what is inside the trading app and that we want to improve, or either creating those new projects from scratch. So for that, we started with the payment and the onboarding. And I have to say that we started the cart on the third position. It was really helpful because we learned a lot from the two first modules. And that was really helpful on the front side. But we also did some work on the gateway side. It was almost the same situation back in 22 with on mobile almost everything in 2 gateways. So the same way we let's say extract the cart part and the gateway that is used on web to create that shared gateway. And it brings us to this picture, which is really new in Swiss code, that's having only one gateway that we are pinging with the iOS web and Android. So that is really great. And it's something that works really well. There is only few issues on prod, and we have like some strong ownership on banking services. And yeah, it was. I think it's a success for us. But I heard a lot that it is possible to do because cards, it's something new. So you could like apply this clean architecture really easily. But the thing is that, yeah, the debit cards are new, but we are providing some cards for our clients for years. So the main challenge that we face is to mix that offer with the debit, the credit offer, mix the credit offer and the debit offer into one offer. If we are taking a look, for instance, to the prepaid cards, which is a card that is really a lot used by our clients, it was really challenging for us and also for the concession team to provide some kind of experience with the same UI that we will use for the debit cards. And to be honest, it was really a highlight of the project on our side to be able to integrate that prepaid and to perform a top-up, for instance. Because the plan, the decommission of the credits was like a few weeks ago, so we knew that for months we will need to handle both credit and debit. And so that's what we provide to our clients, this seamless carousel that you are able to switch one card from the other. In terms of functionality, we are calling only one gateway, only one endpoint, for instance, to lock the card, to check the card details. So yeah, I think it was really the main challenge for us to mix those two offers. And so, just if we take a look to what we did those two last year, I think that we could be really proud to deliver all those really exciting projects without impacting the new look and feel. And I think that it was really the good point of our architecture, because delivering all those projects, it was just few lines of code in the main repository. So they were able to do this really challenging project without being annoying with merge conflict and what the improvement that we saw earlier. And so yeah, we released twins, the mobile payment, a lot of release on the payment infra team. And also the good point is that we were able to be ready before the marketing campaign that Camille will show us now.
Thank you. Thank you, Arthur. Hello, everyone. My name is Camille Padel, so I'm brand marketing manager in the marketing department. So with the brand management team, we develop all the marketing strategy and activities to promote the product and as well the brand. So on this project, our goal was to effectively communicate the launch of the new debit card, which was a significant shift for Swiss code. So it was a big step into universal banking, as Simon mentioned. So we planned the marketing communication into 3 phases, and I will explain why. You will see it was kind of challenging in terms of timing between the official launch and the media campaign, because the media campaign was booked several months beforehand, and we couldn't cancel it. So, but we would see, you will see, we managed to do it thanks to great collaboration of all the teams impacted. And thank you again also to all the colleagues that works on this project, as well our agency, media agency, and creative one. So the first step, we did a silent launch before the official launch on 12 September because simply Apple requested a specific date for the launch of Apple Pay, so the new services. So we had to launch the debit card the same date. However, at this moment, the mobile payments were not active in the app. So for us, it was really not optimal to start communicating actively about the new offering without the full banking package. So we decided to do a silent launch first, showcasing already on the website the new banking section of the website, so the landing page debit card, also all the pricing we have for the two package, Bright and Light, and as well the Apple Pay page. So finally, it was not so bad to do a silent launch before, because it enabled the teams to manage progressively the new request of the debit card, and also to fine-tune all the details on the website and on the app. Before the official launch, so on 28 September, so once the mobile app were available with the mobile payment and also e-bill, we were then ready to send out a press release to communicate about this new launch. We communicate also through our own channels, so the main message that now you can enjoy the new crypto debit card packed with daily banking services, all you need for your daily life, like e-bill, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and of course Twint. And we communicated through our own channels, as I said, so promotional email, we were with banner and carousel on the website, and as well on the SQ magazine with this new universe, and with the headline, Endless Advantages in 1 millimeter, that we communicate as well on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, with nice animation showcasing the key feature of the debit card we have, so the crypto payment, the multi-currency, etc. So then, exactly 4 days after, the media campaign started, so on 1st October. So the bank brand campaign, I'm pretty sure you already seen it, but just want to remind you about the objective of this campaign. It was really to reshape the consumer brand perception about Swissquote. So Swissquote is not only a broker anymore, it's a true digital bank to fulfill all your daily banking needs for your everyday life. So our agency came with a key message. We are not a bank, we are the bank. And simply because we wanted to emphasize our unique offering, we are continuing to challenging the code of the banking area. So it was also a continuity of our Challenge the Code campaign you may have seen 4 years ago. And before to move on the detail of this campaign, just wanted to share with you some facts about the behind-the-scene facts about the production of this TV spot. So it took place in Thailand, in Bangkok. So it was the first time for us. We had 2 days of shooting, so to be more precise, 20 hours per day, so quite intense. And 75 people, actors, extra movie were on the set. Also 80 members from the production and the agency from France, Thailand, and also Switzerland. And for in total film, in total 238 shoots to have one final version that you have seen, the 60 second and also the 30 second you see on the TV. So to come back at the media plan of this campaign, so this was the biggest campaign ever for Swissquote in Switzerland. So we had another one, a smallest one in Dubai, but wanted to share with you some details about this media plan and that we have in October. So we were on TV on the main public and private channel like TF1, M6, RTS, SRF. We were also on the main cities, Zurich, Geneva, Lausanne, Bern, Basel, with billboards, a physical one, digital one. We were also in the mountains, in Verbier, Zermatt, as well as at the airport in Geneva and Zurich. We were also on newspaper, financial newspaper, magazine, and of course online on financial, business and news website, and finally on social media, all the main networks as YouTube, Facebook, etc. So here are some examples of the campaign. You may have already seen it, but here are billboards at the airports, on the train station, and even on the bus in Geneva, also on print, and finally online, so some different banners and video also on, for example, websites like Moneyland, comparison websites. We were also on social media, so it was also the biggest campaign ever on social media. We have more than 15 posts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And to finish, just wanted to share with you some key results of this campaign, which achieve quite impressive visibility. So we achieved plus 78 million of impressions, so it's really the number of opportunity that people see the campaign online. We achieved plus 500K of clicks, and finally more than 23 million of video views. So we were really happy about it, and this is not the end. We are looking forward for the next the two campaigns we will have this year. So the next one is in February, and the other one will be in June during the European Cup. So thank you very much, and now I leave the last word to Simon to show you the results in terms of product and business. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So I think it's amazing the amount of work that goes behind such a small object in the end, but also it's amazing to see the amount of activity it generates. And since the launch, a little bit more than 4 months ago, we have had more than 11,000 cars that were ordered by our clients, which I believe is an impressive number when we compare it, to give you a comparison point to what we had before with the credit card. It took us close to 6 to 7 years to reach less than 6,000 cards. So what we see is that there is a huge attraction behind those cards. It's a different offering, but it's a very interesting beginning for this new world of Swissquote. As you know, we have two packages. One is you have to pay a subscription per month. The other one is free. We had planned for about 1/3 paying subscription, 2/3 free subscription, and we see that we're very close to that, even a little bit more in favor of the paying subscription compared to the projections that we had made originally. And this is very encouraging in terms of initial success of even the paying subscription package. In terms of volume, we've had more than 21 million spent over 4 months through the card, which is the equivalent of 136 francs per minute that happens, and that is being spent by our clients. What is great, what it tells you is that people interact with Swissquote way more often than they used to be, outside of market conditions. And this is something that, in the end, we need to be leveraging on the trading side, on the investing side, to create those relationships we were talking about before. Then there is this payments in crypto feature. I had a lot of questions over the months, especially at the peak of the crypto winter. Would people really use that? What's the added value? What we saw in the meantime, between the moment we initially proposed that feature and the moment of the launch, in the meantime, Revolut had launched the exact same feature. We also saw that crypto adoption was going up, and now that the markets becomes to be a bit more attractive, we see it picking up also in our transactions of crypto. Today we have had, until now, more than 200 Swiss francs spent in crypto through our cards, which is marginal. It's about 1% of the total volume, but I believe still reassuring about the fact that we have something there and that it needs to be channeled in the right communities in order to be leveraged to the maximum. And we have had card cards active in 77 countries. So Swissquote is now active with our cards in 77 countries. Switzerland is obviously the majority of it, but it's very interesting to see that we can project ourselves at such a large scale with this new offering. And now I will talk a little bit more because you're going to tell me, I can hear you tell me, yes, but it means that people are channeling money out of Swissquote and that we're not benefiting from an overall company perspective. But if you look at the state of banking since we launched the card, so here I'm comparing the 4 months before the launch with the 4 months since the launch. We have had an increase in 25% in incoming payments by direct clients at Swissquote. We have had share of outgoing payments, so using the payment feature on mobile and on desktop by 29%. The volume with Twint has increased by 51%. The users with Twint have increased by 28%. And the share of mobile payments already represent today 22% of our payments done by direct clients at Swissquote. What it shows, it's basically leveling up the floor for us, and that the activity levels are through the roofs in terms of interactions. It doesn't necessarily mean through the roof in terms of trading activity, but in terms of daily interactions with our clients. This is very encouraging, and I'm looking forward to communicate more on those numbers in the coming months. So we're getting to the end of the presentation. Before we end, I don't know if there is any question that you would like to have. We have a mic if you need. Eric? Yeah, because yeah, that's a coffee in Zurich on the Langstrasse, I think. But it wasn't that cost at the time when we Any other comment or question? But that's a good one. If not, thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Ayonayun, we have a question online. Okay, so we have a question about the old credit cards that were available in many countries physically and that we have limited for the new debit card. So the question is, why is that? The answer is many aspects. So first of all, the debit card is available in almost all countries except our gray countries in a virtual or physical solution. The reality in terms of, this is a question we get a lot, why don't we open up the physical card to all countries? First of all, it has a high cost in terms of sending and making sure that those cards get into those countries to the right client at the right time. And second of all, it has a high cost in terms of support and maintenance because the teams involved in making sure that everything works fine. It's more difficult to make sure everything works fine in Colombia than it is obviously in France. If there is an issue and we want to provide the best possible service to clients, it's very difficult to ensure that quality of service, if we open up anywhere without some kind of certainty, it will be working. And if we look at the actual behavior of the people with a physical card, they use their physical card as a virtual one on Apple Pay or Google Pay. So they have the physical card, but in terms of behavior, they actually use it as a virtual card. So there is value in communicating that to clients who sometimes ask, why don't we have the physical card in my country? And in reality, they will end up using it as a virtual card. So it's related to cost of maintenance and support, and cost of delivery, and also stability and quality of service that we cannot provide with confidence in all the countries of the world, but we're expanding gradually based on the demand. That's all. Yes? Yes, so the question was, for the people who couldn't hear, will there be other cards built around the current offering? The answer is yes. It's being defined now, the exact setup that we will do, but as we discussed before, we had the initial plan of going for a more premium type of offering that we didn't materialize as a first step, but we will definitely expand to a more premium type of offering, but more likely on the credit front, because if you want a full daily banking package in Switzerland, a natural offering is usually around a debit card with a credit card for all the expenses above 100 francs. So yes, there will be more. Okay, we have another question. The question is, what will happen to the prepaid credit card? Will we keep it for the time being? The answer is yes. We keep it for now because Forex clients in some countries see a value in it, and it serves the sales to have it at their disposal when they pitch Swissquote as a Forex broker and as a bank in general. The fact that we offer a card distinguishes us from more traditional Forex brokers. But it's true, it's not the current offering of the prepaid card works well for foreign countries where banking is difficult to access, a little bit less for Switzerland in its current offering, but it will remain for the time being. Great. So thank you. There is another question. So you're asking, okay, the question is, there was a travel insurance before in the old credit card, and you're asking me if it's the case today? Yes. So what we did with this very more mass market product that we created around the debit card doesn't include any perks. It was originally planned, as I said, to build a premium offering with perks linked to the card. It could be on the insurance front, obviously on the travel side, and other additional benefits. So when we build the next phase on the premium side, there will be additional perks, potentially insurance. Yes. Great. So thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to have you here, and see you soon.